Managing a modern network often feels like trying to map a landscape that is constantly shifting under your feet. As server racks multiply into the distance, IT teams find traditional visibility struggling to keep pace with the sheer volume of data being generated. The 2020 Sunburst supply chain attack forced a rethink of vendor trust, just as the industry-wide move to containerized cloud architectures made the old methods of pinging static IP addresses insufficient for day-to-day operations. Today, you have to decide between three distinct paths: adopting free open-source software, paying flat fees for on-prem tools, or variable pricing of modern SaaS. If you choose a platform that doesn't fit your team's workflow, you'll likely face a 6-month deployment that never reaches full coverage, or a sudden $100,000 billing surprise after your cloud environment autoscales during a weekend traffic spike. Long-term stability depends on aligning a vendor's pricing architecture directly with your organization's specific infrastructure DNA. To find that alignment, we have to look past the marketing sticker price. Every IT team actually pays 3 distinct costs to keep a monitoring platform alive. First, the software license, upfront fees plus recurring charges. Second, implementation time, mapping a network in an hour versus engineers working for months. Third, maintenance headcount, the human capital required to update plugins, tune alerts, and keep the system running. Selecting a free tool to eliminate the software license fee often results in doubling your internal maintenance headcount. Understanding these trade-offs is how we evaluate the 4 main options available in 2026. The first category is the open-source giants, encompassing established platforms like Zabbix, Nagios, and the Prometheus Grafana stack. On this quadrant chart, open source is the high-effort, low-financial cost option. Running these requires deep Linux expertise and a team treating monitoring as internal platform engineering. If provided, you get infinite scalability, full data control, and 0 software licensing fees. However, your staff becomes responsible for every granular task, from maintaining thousands of community plugins to manually configuring alert thresholds for every new piece of hardware you buy. Open source eliminates the software bill, but it shifts that entire financial burden onto your payroll. It is a viable path only for teams that have the technical bandwidth to build it themselves. Next are legacy on-premises tools like SolarWinds NPM, PRTG, and ManageEngine. These follow module-based or sensor-based pricing. A mid-market enterprise expects to pay around $15,000 annually for software hosted on your own Windows or Linux servers. These tools provide deep visibility into traditional physical network hardware. If you need to monitor the specific health of routers, switches, and firewalls using legacy protocols like SNMP or NetFlow, these are the standards. But because they were built for physical nodes, they often have massive blind spots when it comes to serverless functions or containerized cloud environments, where IKs change every few minutes. These remain the default choice for organizations with massive on-premises hardware footprints that haven't yet moved their critical workloads to the cloud. The third archetype is cloud-native SaaS observability, led by platforms like Datadog and Logic Monitor. You deploy proprietary agents across your cloud hosts and pay based on consumption, per host, per gigabyte of logs, or per million events tracked. In exchange for that cost, you get instant full-stack visibility, out-of-the-box dashboards, automated application performance monitoring, and hundreds of integrations are ready to use within minutes of installation. Danger is high watermark billing. If an auto-scaling group spikes during a marketing campaign, or a developer outs a high cardinality custom metric, your bill multiplies before you notice the change. Enterprise SaaS delivers high-resolution visibility the moment you install the agents, but that convenience requires intense internal governance to prevent your cloud bill from scaling as fast as your traffic. Finally, we have the agentless value players, such as Damatz, Uptrace, and Avik. These typically charge a flat rate per device or based on data volume. Instead of hundreds of agents, you deploy a single lightweight collector to monitor the entire site. This approach simplifies the financial overhead and cuts setup time from weeks of manual configuration down to a few hours of automated discovery. The trade-off is technical depth. You won't get the extreme granular customization of open source or the massive AI-driven analytical suites found in top-tier enterprise SaaS. These are the best fit for time-poor IT teams, or MSPs, who prioritize highly predictable costs and operational simplicity over deep stack engineering. This chart breaks down an exploding SaaS bill across infrastructure, APM, indexed logs, and overages. When log and overage sections expand rapidly, it's rarely a software failure, it's a FinOps failure. Ephemeral containers and high cardinality metrics drive these costs up silently. Controlling these observability costs requires you to first control the underlying cloud footprint by right-sizing VMs and auditing which logs actually need indexing. If you choose enterprise SaaS, you must monitor your own monitoring, or the scaling speed of the cloud will eventually outpace your budget. To find your match, use this decision tree. Solving for budget? With an engineering-heavy team, choose open source. Solving for time? For quick deployments and predictable bills, choose agentless mid-market. Solving for scale? If application uptime equals revenue, choose enterprise SaaS. Match the tool to the operational bandwidth your team actually has today. Buying a Ferrari without a mechanic is a guaranteed failure. Choose the tool that your team can actually afford to maintain.